Now, we've all read the title, we all know what this is about, and I'm sure all of you are thinking, oh my god, this is gonna be clickbait. No, this guy was something else. Now, a lot of people I've talked to, I've always said to a lot of people, oh, I've been single my whole life. I have never had a boyfriend. Well, guess what? That's a huge bunch of bullshit. I have in fact had a boyfriend, but it was such a bad experience that I just completely don't even regard it as a real relationship. If my ex is watching this, no hard feelings, I'm sure you're not the person you were when we were 14, 13? So I hope you don't take this in the wrong way. This is a fun story and I'm not gonna use your name. I hope you don't go crazy over this. So it all started in the holidays, the summer between 8th grade and 9th grade. Let me give you a little backstory onto how I met this crazy guy. There was a year 8 camp, right? And that's where I met him. I met him at year 8 camp and we were in the little community room or something one night, and we were playing a card game together and we were talking, and then we were play fighting and shit. Oh, it makes me want to throw up. But anyway, I went back to my cabin and all the girls in the cabin were like, oh my god, you two would make an amazing couple, you should get together, blah 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 blah. They were talking my head off, saying that we would make a great couple. I'm sure they were right. Why wouldn't they be right? So anyway, I talked at school, after the camp, I see him at school a little bit, we talk a little bit. And then holidays. It's all over with him, but then, you know what he does? He finds me on Facebook. And now, the important thing here is that this whole relationship is only over Facebook Messenger. That is our only communication. We never meet up during the holidays. It is entirely on Facebook Messenger for a whole 2 weeks. Yes? This relationship only lasted 2 weeks, but trust me, in that 2 weeks, we have got a lot of weird fucking stories that are pretty entertaining. Anyway, he finds me on Facebook Messenger and he messages me. He's like, hey, how you doing? And I respond and we're talking. And then I ask him, what did you get for Christmas? And he was like, oh, I got Xbox games, blah, 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 whatever, whatever teenage boys get. And then he says, I also got something for Christmas, and it wasn't something I was expecting, but I think it's the best thing I got for Christmas. And I was like, what? And he was like, oh, I'm not sure I should tell you. And I was like, just tell me, come on, tell me. And he told me, and it's so weird, but he goes, what I got for Christmas is the realization that I have a crush on you. What? Anyway, I was like, oh, and then he goes, if I asked you out right now, would you say no? And I said, no. And he's like, so you would say yes? And I said, yes. And he said, would you go out with me? And I said, yes. And the reason why I said yes is because I just thought to myself, what is the worst thing that can happen from this? I just thought, well, why the hell not? Which, by the way, is not a good way of getting into relationships. You should get into a relationship because you like the person, not because you're thinking, why not? Okay, just a heads up, please learn from my mistakes. So boom, I'm like, oh my god, you're my first boyfriend. He's had 700 girlfriends before, they've all lasted only about a week. One of the first things I said was, oh, this isn't gonna be one of those 12-year relationships that only last a week. So after I said that, I was like, I have to make this last longer than a week, even if it's only a week and a day. And I did, I made it 2 weeks, but fuck, I regret saying that. Because 5 minutes into the relationship, 5 minutes in, he goes, can I tell you something? And I said, go for it. And you know what he says? I love you. 5 minutes in, 5 minutes, not even 5 minutes, and he goes, I love you. What the fuck? I was like, isn't that a bit soon? And he goes, you're not gonna say it back? And I was like, no, I'm not gonna say it back because I don't love you and I'm not gonna lie to you. We've only been in a relationship for 5 fucking minutes and he wants me to say I love you. Well, I didn't say that to him, but that's what I was thinking. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with you, you fuckwit? And I told him, no, I'm not gonna say it. And he was like, he got a little bit upset about it, but he brushed it off a bit. Now, a couple days later, still had not told him that I loved him, but every couple of messages, he was just like, I love you, babe. I love you. He used to send me messages, right? All the time, I love you, babe, I miss you, babe. Every fucking minute there was a new message, I miss you, babe, what are you doing, babe, what blah, 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 blah. He used to always ask me, what am I doing? how am I? Like, he used to always say, are you okay? Like, he always used to say, I miss you. He always used to ask, do you miss me too? He used to always want me to say, I love you back to him. He was always just bombarding me with these messages. And he just would not leave me alone for 1 second of the fucking day. Like, I just wanted to sit on my ass and watch YouTube videos. I didn't want to fucking sit and talk to this weird guy who I don't even want to be in a relationship with. Anyway, a couple days after he said I love you, so maybe we were up to like 4 days into this relationship, he goes, can I call you babe? And I was like, I'm not really sure I'm comfortable with that right now. And he goes, please let me call you babe. Please. And I was like, fine, you can call me babe. Oh, I regret that. Because every second message ended in, babe. I miss you, babe. I love you. How are you doing, babe? Are you okay? What you doing right now, babe? It was just babe. Oh. And he kept on saying, can you please call me babe? And I was like, no. He kept on saying, can you please say I love you back to me? And I was like, no, I'm not saying I love you, babe. And I'm not saying babe or I love you. And whenever he asked me, do you miss me? I used to just always like sit there and unwillingly type yes, just to shut him the fuck up. I used to sit there and be like, yeah, I miss you, even though I really did not miss him. And I remember one time, this was more towards the end of the relationship, he was like, oh, if I was with you right now, I'm gonna give you the biggest kiss ever. And I wanted to throw up. You should not be with someone that the thought of kissing them makes you want to throw up, okay? And he used to always like make plans for when we go back to school. He used to always ask, can you come early in the morning so that we can kiss? No, I will not come early in the morning to kiss you, you fuckhead. Anyway, he used to always ask what I was doing. And usually what I was doing was like watching YouTube. And whenever I said, oh, I'm watching a video, he used to say, what video? Like, stop. Like, stop if you have nothing to talk about, that you have to like ask me for every single detail of what I'm doing, then just stop talking. We don't have to talk every single fucking second of the day. Just calm the fuck down. You don't need to know what video I'm watching every single fucking second, you absolute fuckhead. That annoyed the shit out of me. Oh my god. I hope I never have to deal with someone who's like as needy as him again, ever. Now one time, I FaceTimed him, right, and he had written me a poem, a fucking poem, and I was at my friend's house when he did this, and he was like, can you go into a room away from your friends? And I was like, oh, fine. And so I went, and he read me this poem. It was like super cringy, like super fucking weird, because we'd only been together for a week at this time, and I was sitting there like, oh god, and I had already told my friends how much I'm hating, how much he's clinging to me, how cringy he is, how annoying he is. And they were like, you need to say something. So I did. After he read the poem, I was like, that's really sweet, but I just find this all a bit cringy. You're just going way too fast for me. And he was like, okay, I'll slow it down. I'll be more calm. Did he do that? No, absolutely fucking not. It changed nothing. And also what he used to do, whenever he like wanted to show me a picture of something, he wouldn't take a picture of the thing. He would grab like the thing and he would take a picture with his face in it. Like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Why do you feel the need to take a picture with your face in it? What was the point of that? Anyway, the reason why he was sending me pictures of stuff, because he like bought me gifts. I don't know, like, the only real gift he bought me was like this stuffed bunny, and he took like a photo with the bunny and he was like, do you like it? And of course I was just like, yeah, whatever, like I did not care about the bunny at this point. And there was this other time he was like he showed me like a picture of like, one picture he had like Pepsi, the other picture he had like Passion or something, and he was like, which drink do you want when we meet up, babe? And I was like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Second of all, I wanted Passion. I think that's an important fucking point. Now this other thing he did was, this one pissed me off. Right, I was talking to him, I was like, good morning, and then he sends me something back. And I was like, what the hell is this? It was like a message, but it had a play button and a little line. and like a time, and I clicked on it. It was a voice message. It was a fucking voice message. He was like, "Good morning, babe. I miss you." In the most monotone voice ever. Like, and I was like, oh, okay, it's just one voice message. I can deal with that. Whole fucking day, I got nothing but voice messages from him. This is just, and I didn't have the heart to tell him that I fucking hate his voice. Well, I didn't hate his voice at the start, but by the end of it, I hated his voice because it was so monotone, so like no emotions. And he was just saying, "I love you, I miss you, I want to give you a big kiss right now." Whole day of that. Oh my God. Oh God, I could not deal. I was sitting there like, oh, I can't take this anymore. This was like towards the end of the relationship. I was sitting there like, Jesus, I can't take this anymore. That was like the worst thing he did. Aside from all the misuse, the constant checking up on me, voice messages was like the worst thing. Now, this is the story. This is like the start of our breakup, and the breakup is like the messiest part of this whole story. This is like the craziest part of it. This is where you really see that he was fucking crazy. So he asked me, "What video are you watching, babe?" And I was watching this video about a 13-year-old who wants to get pregnant. Here, I'll show you a clip of it here because it's burned into my memory.
No one's gonna stop me from having a baby. Not my mom, not my dad, and not Maury.
And I sent him the link and he watched it. And he came back and he was like, wow, like she's so blah, 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 you know, what you'd say about a 13-year-old who wants to get pregnant. And he said, "Oh my God, I can't believe she wants to have kids when she's 13. I want to be 23 when I have my first kid." And I said, "Oh, I have to be at least 25 to have my first kid." And I shit you not, this is what he says. And I nearly died. He said, "So 25 is when you want to have kids with me, babe?" And I just sat there. I could not. I was like, I was like, no. I didn't even reply. I just ignored him. 5 minutes later, "Do you want to have kids when we're 25, babe?" I just ignored him and I just went to bed. And I woke up with like the first 5 messages were about having kids. And I could not. And the second he sent me that message asking if I wanted to have kids with him when we were 25, that is when I knew it was over. That is when I knew. I was like, next day, first thing tomorrow, I'm breaking up with him. Did that happen? No, because I procrastinated. It was like 5 p.m. and I still hadn't broken up with him, and he was annoying the shit out of me, and I was like, oh my God, I gotta get out of this relationship, but I don't want to be rude and horrible. And then, like, the craziest thing happened. He messages me and goes, babe, I'm so sorry. I'll never do it again. I'll never do this again, babe. Like, loads and loads of messages like that. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was like, what are you talking about? And he goes, I have to explain this story to you. And I was like, well, fucking explain it then instead of taking so much time. This is the story he told me. He said, there was apple juice on his cupboard, on the kitchen cupboard. And he took the apple juice and drank it. It was a whole glass. But turns out it wasn't apple juice. It was alcohol, and he couldn't tell the difference. So he's drunk, and this girl messages him and asks for his nudes. This random girl that I've never heard of messages him and asks for his nudes while he is drunk off alcohol that apparently tastes like apple juice. And what does he do? He sends her his nudes. What the fuck? What the fuck? And he was like, I'm so sorry, babe. I so understand if you want to break up with me. I remember the exact message I sent him. I said, I am so pissed off at you right now. And I put an angry emoji. And I said, I definitely want to break up with you right now. Which I was laughing my ass off at because I don't sound like that when I'm pissed off. I don't use emojis when I'm pissed off, bitch. No. And I sent that message right after he said, I understand if you want to break up with me. First message, after I say I want to break up, he goes, no, please don't, no, babe, I'm so sorry, I'll never do it again, blah, 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 please don't break up with me, don't break up with me, don't break up with me. And I was like, I'm breaking up with you. I can't forgive you for this. And he says, no, please, blah, blah, blah. Begging me not to break up with him. And I'm like, sorry, we're broken up. And he was like losing his shit. He was going to me saying, oh my God, you're my everything. You're my entire world. I don't know how I'll live without you. Mind you, we've been together for 2 weeks. And he's going, I don't know how I'm gonna live without you. I don't know what I'm gonna do without you. You can't break up with me. My whole life's gonna fall apart without you, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, we've only been together for 2 weeks. This is when I started like being mean to him after the breakup. I was like, we've only been together for 2 weeks and you're saying this shit. Like, go like find some more meaning to life. I can't be the only meaning in your life, you idiot. And he was getting real upset, you know, because we broke up and I'm being mean to him. But I mean, the relationship was 2 weeks long. If you're not comfortable with the topic of self-harm, I'd recommend you click off the video now because this video takes like a turn into that path. Anyway, he says to me, I'll cut myself if you don't come back together with me. And I was like, what the fuck? I wasn't falling for that bullshit. Even when I was, what, 13. When I was 13, I wouldn't fall for that bullshit. I was like, no, you're not cutting yourself, but I'm not getting back together with you. And he was like, babe, I'm gonna cut myself. And I spent an hour with him just telling him, do not cut yourself. Promise me you're not gonna cut yourself. I'm not getting back together with you, but do not cut yourself. And he eventually goes, fine, I won't cut myself. And boom, ended the relationship. Yeah! Or so I thought. I thought that was the end of the relationship, and I thought he wasn't gonna go insane and harm himself over me. No. I wake up the next day. First message, I'm sorry, babe. I should have listened to you. Oh yeah, that's right, he's still calling, was he still calling me babe? No, I think I told him to stop calling me babe. He was like, I'm sorry. I should have listened to you. Blah, blah, blah. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, 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 blah. And I was like, oh, fuck. I knew what he had done. And I was like, well, what'd you do? And he was like, I cut myself. And I said, send me a photo. Because I did not believe that he cut himself. I was in total disbelief that he did. And I said, send me a photo. And he said, no. And I said, please send me a photo. And he said, no. And I said, why not? And he said, because it's in a place I can't show you. I was like, what do you mean a place you can't? And I was like, be more specific please. And he had cut himself on his dick. And his reasoning behind that was because that is the photo he sent to a girl. I was very glad he didn't send me a photo of that. And he told me it was so bad he had to get stitches. And I said, you had to go to hospital over me. And he said, no. And I was like, what? He said, my nan, he lived with his grandma. He said his grandma used to be a nurse. So his grandma did his stitches for him. I didn't even have any comments on that. Just Now, breakup's over with. I mean, we have constant fights back and forth of me trying to get him fucking off my back. That's the whole story. But it's almost the whole story. But like a couple weeks after the relationship, he confesses to me that the whole thing about the alcohol was a lie because he was bored. So I'm not cutting himself was also probably a huge, big, massive lie. I don't know, he probably lied about a lot of things. I mean, like, I remember like a month, we were for some reason still talk. A month after we broke up, for some reason we were still talking. He told me he'd lost his memory. I don't know, he lied a lot. Anyway, moral of the story is, please don't go out with someone on the reasoning of why not. Please go out with someone because you actually like them. Please talk to them. Please get to know them before you go out with them, or else you might end up with an insane, crazy bitch like I did. Anyway, if you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do. And if you liked this video, you also know what to do. So we're not going to go through that stupid bullshit. Anyway, bye.